Namaskar, Namaskar, dear seekers. So, good afternoon or good evening to all of you. It is nice that you're joining now in this new year 2021. I think it was Thursday, no? The first, you had also the collective chanting meditation with Pujarandi. So, welcome to all to this new year. So, I hope wishing all the best to all of you in our spiritual progress. Huh? So, dear Seeker, in our collective chanting meditation today, I will share in short to all of you, because many of you are coming often, and few of you may be joining for the first time. So, I will share in short how we are going to do. So, for 45 minutes to 50 minutes, we will collectively meditate and chant. And in low tone, we will play a divine chant that is a Sanskrit. And it is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And when we listen to a divine chant, or when we repeat also a divine chant in mind, we imbibe the divine principles, and that increase the positivity within us, or create also a protective shield around us. So some of you are doing meditations. So what you can do, you can just close your eyes and practice your meditation. And you can just listen to the divine chant in the background. For those who are more familiar with chanting, that is repeating God's name, some of you may be repeating mantras, some of you may be repeating Guru mantra. So you can repeat the same name or mantra that you are familiar. And you can also close your eyes and you can also try to repeat the divine chant, or you can listen to it also in the background. And for those who are too new to meditations, or as well you don't know about chanting, you can just close your eyes and focus on your own breath. You can try also to repeat in mind. Just to understand, it's not to repeat aloud. It is beneficial if we repeat in mind as per the speed, slowly. So, dear seekers, what you can do, you can sit comfortable. Some of you, you know about Nyas. This is this mudra posture, and I will bring the 5 fingers together. And if some of you are experiencing pressure, because often in your comment you share that you experience either pressure in the heart chakra or the mid-broad chakra or the different part of the body, at that time when you experience pressure, you can use this nyas also. So because it helps to sometimes remove this block or the pressure caused by the negative vibrations, because the aim is to achieve concentrations. So what I will ask you also to do as a small exercise in the beginning and the end of the collective chanting meditations is, before we start playing the divine chant, I will ask you to close your eyes and for around 20 seconds or so to contemplate deeper inside how you feel by mind, just to see how by mind you feel, whether you're feeling calm or whether you are feeling restless. And after that, in the end, when we will stop the divine chant, I will tell you to remain with closed eyes, and at that time do the same exercise to go within and contemplate inside to see how you feel deeper in mind, and if you feel any difference. And of course, after, you can share in the chat, and if you have any questions in regards to healing also, you can ask on the chat. We can take your questions. So dear seeker, you can close eyes now. You can contemplate from inside, and after 20 seconds or so, we will start.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो 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 भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 ॐ नमो भगवते
Dear seekers, you can remain with closed eyes, and then you can contemplate from within for the next 20-30 seconds how you feel by mind, how you feel deeper inside. Then you can compare with the beginning, and you can write on the chat your experience, or if you have any question also, you can ask also on the chat. There is a questions. I think we started. There is some question from Christina. Christina, you said that last week and also today during the chanting, my arm became very heavy while doing the niyas, so I had to stop the niyas. What can I do? At that time, it's fine. You can stop. You can, instead of doing niyas, and if you cannot, you can use a box also instead. If you can see, because sometimes the box you just have to rest on your lap. So that is possible. Then you can use box instead. Also, what you can do, because sometimes now the heart become very heavy. It can be because if you hold for a long time, that can be not, in a way, like normal after some time. But if not, then it can happen that the distress affect now they don't let us lose your niyas. So you can also remove black covering now, like that. You can try, but ultimately don't worry. At that time, try to chant with concentrations. It is better. Or you can use a box also instead. From Petra, you said, before I was calm, You could chant with concentration for 30 minutes, and mine got flooded with a lot of thoughts, and it was around the chest. I could focus on the feet, okay, on the lotus feet, and you persevere. Now you're feeling blissful. At that time, Petra, now when you experience a heat at level of the chest, you could do nyas or using box also. From Christina, you say also you felt calm and have less thoughts. From Dedu, you say you have less thoughts now after chanting. From Sarika Nikam, you say while chanting, you felt goosebumps on my body and mine was calm. From goosebumps, and see sometimes what happens when we experience vibrations, positive vibration, can experience sometimes some level of goosebumps. It's a positive experience. From Adam Mitchell, you said that I have been sick the past few days of low energy, but attending the collective chanting and live stream have given me the energy to persevere with the practice. That's good, Adam. So actually, you can see on the chat on the chant or the chants for health. Also on Wednesday, we have this live stream. It will be a question answers, and it will be 5 mental health and chants and mantras. So one of them is one mantra will be or chant that we will also explain helps to gain vital energy. So you can chant that is on Wednesday. You can also go on our website. We have also the page of Chant for Health. But of course, we recommend to chant the different chants like Shri Guru Dev Datta for departed ancestors, or the universal chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But also when we have low energy, at that time we can repeat also Om Gan Ganapataye Namaha for 10 to 50 minutes, or Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. It helps to increase the Pran Shakti, the vital energy. From Valentina, you say, I find very hard trying to control my thoughts for a lasting period during my chant. It can happen, Valentina, that sometimes many thoughts in our minds are strong also. Sometimes we cannot control our mind. And this just, if we do spiritual practice, the result is after some time, the strength of the mind become less, and then less thoughts. And this is easier to stabilize the mind because there is less thoughts, there is less strength in the mind. So at that time we are able to remain more in a stable mind. So for that, that's why chanting is one practice. It helps to reduce the number of thoughts in our mind, and working on ourselves also as a spiritual practice. It's a matter of time. It takes time to reduce the different thoughts in our mind because we are filled with millions of impressions. So slowly to reduce them, it's a matter of at least we should try and give 6 months. Many seekers have experienced that sometime after just 2-3 months, they experience a more calmer state of mind. From Yasmina, you say you're feeling calm and happy. From Vashali, but I'm just wondering when chanting, does it have to be from the recording? It is from a saint. Does it still have the same power when chanting in my mind? So here we are repeating in our mind the recording because we hear the sound. No? So the sound has vibration and potency. So when it is recorded with the voice of a saint, it has more positive vibrations. But ultimately, we have to repeat in mind. It is more important. From Sleep Simply at Home, this is Ramya. While listening to the chant, my mind was wondering about what next and drafting what I need to do next. That is normal, and that is a tendency of the mind. Our mind always brings her either in the past or in the future, like what we should do next. And you was listening, but wavering the mind, body feeling peaceful now. Is that the right method of chanting? See, ultimately, chanting is just we have to repeat in mind slowly and mentally. So mind, it will be obstructing. Mind will take in different directions. That's why for what is important, we have to keep on persevering And more we chant, more we will start creating this impression of what we call also sanskar in our subconscious mind. And it is a matter of time that when the impression in the subconscious mind is strong enough, it will overpower the other thoughts. So like that, the mind will stop drafting away from right to left. From Wilkina Karikuna, I have period of time where I have, during meditation, more thought, what I can do. It is the same Wilka that sometime now we try, there is some day where we sit for meditations, and someday because our mind is more stable, there is less negative vibrations, or we don't have so much situations that had during the day. So that time there is less thought, then it is easy to concentrate or to meditate. And there are some days where there is more situation at home, or something that happens and we are disturbed. We have thoughts in our mind, or we keep different thoughts in our mind. So when we try to concentrate, those thoughts are there and disturb us. So that's why ultimately to overcome through meditation, we should sit many hours to be able to achieve some concentrations. That's why we can also club it with chanting, because chanting can be done anywhere, anytime, when you do different type of random activity. Because when we do that, what happens, it reduces the number of thoughts, and then when you sit for meditation, you will be able to achieve better meditations. So ultimately we should give more time to spiritual practice. From Aji, you say you're feeling less distress and thought are reducing. You're feeling increase of spiritual emotion and feeling bliss. From Yogamaya, Dasi, the aura is feeling lighter and mind is feeling peaceful and blissful. From Aji, you say gradually the mind became calmer. It is usually like that. It is not that suddenly the mind is able to shift, unless this is only when there is a person is achieving a higher spiritual level. At that time, it is easy to enter meditation with just few seconds. Otherwise, what happens? Our mind is active, and it takes some time gradually for the mind will become with less thought, so we can experience how the mind slowly become less, and we slowly achieve a more stable state of mind. But when we practice spirituality and we start to work on ourselves to grow spiritually, then the speed to enter into concentration is faster. From Sonali Kashid, I did 30-minute chanting during the chant and I felt pain in body and lot of yawning. Now you are feeling calm. From You Play, that is from, okay, you feeling calm. From Chantal Corbeil, you wondering the exact meaning of this mantra. So the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, it is Sanskrit. And just to explain that every name of God is associated with a principle, and this principle is more of sustenance. So there are three principles in the universe, that is creation, sustenance, and dissolution. And every chant or every name of God is associated with those three principles always. But there is in some chants, like Om Namo, the principle of sustenance is much more. And what is the meaning of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? It means that I bow to the divine principle of sustenance that is present everywhere. So ultimately, when we listen to the divine chant, we imbibe this divine principle within us. From Abba Sinha, I had a lot of thought when I started chanting. You felt calmer, but a lot of attack you experience. At the time when you experience attack, now we can pray for protections, but the best protection is chanting. When we chant with concentrations, and we get protection from God. Negative also can attack us, that is there, but ultimately to remember that God is always more powerful. From Yasmin, doing pranayam, that's mean breathing technique, helps me to concentrate. That's good also. You can sometimes combine the breathing technique along with chanting. because ultimately we can try to combine repeating God's name with our own breath. You have from Anushka Pallavi, you say, my grandmother eyes suddenly after meditations. So it can happen that is sometime when we try to concentrate or meditate, what happens, they experience pain in the eyes, some experience pain in the different part of the body. It can be lower back. So it's a sign that sometimes negative vibration affecting this area. But then you can tell her to do, when she chant or meditate, initially she can do nyas also at the level of the eyes. Or she can use the healing remedy of boxes if she is open to it. For Miriam Gemma, I think I will just use. At the beginning, I had internet problem. I could not hear the chant. And then I remember that the chant also in low tone goes, so my spiritual remedying flow. So this is just a question from Clara Kiran. How do we know if a negative entity or ghost have left our body? Is there a physical experience or sensation we will feel? So we may be able to experience, sometimes see what happened now. We may be experiencing some state, some negative state, or some wrong habit we may have. Like it can be smoking, alcohol, having a lot of negative thoughts. So I mean, it can happen that when in a way the negative energy leaves the person, ultimately the person should do spiritual practice. It cannot happen. It is very rare that the negative energy will just leave like that unless the destiny is over. But usually they remain and continue affecting the person. So only when the person does regular spiritual practice, it's a matter of time when the negative, actually what happens, they don't live like that. Their power become less. So what we experience that the problem that we may face start reducing. And when the negative energy or ghost, as you say, leaves the person, at that time, we can experience a completely different state of mind. We may come free by mind. We may experience a completely different state. But just to understand, that doesn't mean that negative energy can come back if the person stops spiritual practice. So negative energy can go, but if the person doesn't keep spiritual practice, means enough protections, then negative energy can come back also and affect the person. So dear seekers, we will end for today live stream. So on Sunday we have a workshop. That is a workshop of 3 hours. It is on Zoom. And this workshop is through donation. You can give whatever you like and can. And the first 2 hours, it's more practical topic. It is how to go from emotionalism to stability. So we will share with you more on practical level also some tips and how to work on it to overcome, we can say, a defect that can trouble us in many facets of our lives. Because when situation happen and we are able to remain stable, then we can take correct decisions. And the second part of the workshop, it is 1 hour, it will be some research about vibration of art. So how it is possible to grow through art. And we will also show you how interesting research showing that how some different art form can emanate either positive vibration or negative vibrations. We have also tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, the collective chanting meditations. And on Wednesday, we will have our series of question answers. And it will be about 5 chants or mantra for health for the year 2021, because I think we all need, with the current situation, one is the coronavirus. And of course, there are, because of what we are facing, mind of persons become disturbed and physically also body become also weak. So that time we have those different chants and mantras that can be beneficial for all of us for this year 2021. So you can always, in a way, supporting us to promote those different link or live streams that we have to your social media, friends, relatives, if you feel someone may be interested in the different topics. So dear seeker, wishing you all the best is this new year 2021. Ultimately, it should be a spiritual year to make spiritual progress. So dear seeker, namaskar and hope to see you tomorrow.